Hello everyone, we are live on Facebook. We'll be starting our session.
Meet Smita, a final year college student who is only worried about one thing: getting placed. Unfortunately, the percentage of placements in her college is at an all-time low. The principal decides to give a final shot to Axelot Academy that helps in transforming their B2B and B2C customers. Axelot Academy introduces them to career solutions, where Smita goes through a psychometric-based career profiling process. Smita undergoes career guidance and gets list of career options. She also identifies her skill gaps and has the need for training. Again, Axelot Academy comes to the rescue through their employability program. They first train her on soft skills. Then she is taken through vocational training. Thereafter, Axelot Academy's placement support helps the students get placed. After 2 years of great performance, Smita is looking for growth, and her boss thinks how? Her boss decides to leverage Axelot Academy's certification and courses and also deploys their world-class SaaS LMS for Smita's growth. Smita gains certification and degrees from key universities in India and abroad and experiences growth in her designation and CTC. After years of success as an employee, Smita now wants bigger challenge. She wants to be an entrepreneur. With Axelot Academy's exclusive entrepreneurship program, Smita learns to be her own boss. Smita gets to choose between being a solopreneur and Axelopreneur. The sense of triumph is only possible when you are doing what you love and churning enough money out of it. This story is a clear depiction of how Axelot Academy helps both B2B and B2C segments benefit from its extensive programs. Axelot Academy, building careers, transforming lives.
We can start.
I think let everybody join. We can start in 2 minutes. Or we are good to go.
Recording in progress.
Okay, then I guess we are good to go. Am I audible to all?
Yes, Harsh.
Great. So very good evening to all. I'm your host for the evening and my name is Harsh Srivastav. I welcome you all to our webinar and hope to add values to your knowledge. I would like to extend my warm welcome to our chief guest speaker, Mrs. Devi G, our CEO, Mr. Devashi Sen, Director Founder, Mr. Joydev Mukherjee, and the entire Axelot family. So today, we'll get to know about the creative writing, as the name suggests, something very creative. Creative writing is the painting of the voice, a writing that takes an imaginative, embellished, or outside-the-box approach to the subject matter. If you don't get any proper words to pen down your thoughts, or if not able to find the secret writer in you, then this webinar is definitely for you. So without any further ado, let me introduce you to our guest speaker, Mrs. Devi D. She is a communication coach, certified trainer, and a certified creative writer. Her expertise lies in coaching students and professionals on topics like public speaking, impromptu speaking, effective feedback, and business writing. In addition, she has accomplished freelance writing and content writing for 4 years plus. She also loves to pen down her poems, thoughts, and quotes. And let me tell you guys, one of her stories, Animal and the Third World War, was published in the book 3 Hours by Gilly Stone. Again, on behalf of the entire Axelot family, a very warm welcome, ma'am. We all are here to understand different aspects of creative writing and how we can pen down our own thoughts. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Harsh. Thanks a lot for that warm welcome. So let me start off by asking you all a question. That is, how many of you here are writers, or how many of you here are aspiring writers? Can I see a show of hands? Or if you're not able to switch on the camera, you can drop the emojis. I can see Aishwarya raising her hand. Anybody else? Yes, I can see an emoji from Joy. Yes. Anybody else? Let's make the session more and more interactive. If possible, come on camera and let's make it more interactive. I can see Anai giving a reaction. Yes. Aishwarya, I would like to understand from you. Are you a writer or are you aspiring to be a writer?
Ma'am, I would like to be a writer, but I'm not as such a writer as of now.
Okay, you are aspiring to be a writer. And anybody else? Harsh was raising his hand. Yes, Harsh, you want to be a writer or you are already into writing?
No, ma'am, I'm not into writing, but when I got to know that we are going to have a session on this, as I had some previous inclination towards that. So yes, I would love to know how I can proceed from here.
Right. Very good, Harsh. And this is the right place. I think I will share some insights on how you can get started with writing. Joy, you want to add on some input as to whether you're already writing or you are looking forward to being a writer?
Hi. So I do write. More of a content from not for very long. It's not a story that I write, but then I do write. I love writing, and I would love to write a story one day, which is getting published.
Wow.
But I think there are some techniques to it. There are some structures to it, which I don't know how to go about forming or going about a story. Been busy selling throughout my life, so would like to take the opportunity in the second half of my life to see if I can write down something as a story.
When you talked about story, I have a surprise waiting for all of you. I will say this at the end of my session, especially with respect to story. I'll keep that in mind that you want to be a story writer someday and you want to get it published. And I have something for you at the end of the meeting.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, sure, Joy. Anybody else want to add an input? Anybody? Okay, if not, we will proceed with the session, and it was nice taking the inputs of Joy, Aishwarya and Harsh. So let me start sharing my screen now. I hope all of you are able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me just put it. Yeah. So when it comes to writing, the first thing that we need to understand is, why do we write? Why do you want to write? So I want to understand from each one of you, if you are looking forward to write, why do you want to write? What is that goal you are trying to achieve? You can either unmute and speak, or you can drop the answers in the chat window. Anything, you can choose to drop the answers in the chat window. This is the first step before you even start writing. Why do you want to write? What is the end purpose of writing? What is your goal? Is it to tell your story to the world? Is it you're writing for a brand? What is your purpose of writing? It could be anything that strikes your mind. I just want to know the inputs from all of you. I've got one answer: to express ourselves. Rishika says, come on, I want to hear everybody's views. I can see lot of people here in the crowd. So let's brainstorm the ideas. Aishwarya is saying something. Yes, Aishwarya.
To influence people, or to say what exactly I'm thinking. I wanted to convey.
Yes, very good. To influence people, and I can see that many of you have put in the chat window marketing content and web content. Yes, very good. To share my thoughts, a book, to express my imagination and feelings to the world. All these are valid aspects. So Harsh wants to say something. Harsh, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. As I said, that writing itself is the painting of the voice, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to write so that I can voice myself through writing.
You want to, voice your ideas, voice your feelings. That's
right.
Fair enough, Harsh. Thank you all for, sharing your inputs. So let me give you a brief on what are the major goals of writing. So let me continue. Yeah. These are some of the writing goals. One is, we just want to express our thoughts through a poem, through a single line of quote, or even writing a story or a novel. Then when it comes to promoting a brand, you write website copies, you write a marketing email, you write blogs and so on. This business content is all about promoting your brand. Okay, so that's the end goal of writing this business content. Then inspiring people. Okay, you are writing a book about your struggle. So what it does is it inspires the people. And there are some books which educates people. Best is our school books, college books. The main purpose is to educate the people. So these are the 4 broad categories of writing goals that you can think of, and before you even start writing, you need to keep this goal in mind, and otherwise your writing may not reach anywhere. Especially in a business perspective, the content that you put out there, the marketing content, the social media content, it should be well researched with a proper writing goal. Now that brings me to the different types of writing that we have. Broadly, writing can be classified into 2 forms. One is the creative writing. The other is what we call in business world the content writing. Let me elaborate on these 2 aspects in detail. So before I proceed, let me tell all of you have a pen and paper with you. We will be doing few assignments in between. You will be noting down things. You will be brainstorming certain ideas. So have a pen and paper ready with you. So coming to creative writing. What is creative writing? Creative writing is something which helps you to come out with imaginative ideas. You can bring your innovation to the forefront, which is more personal in nature, like stories, poems, quotes, biographies, autobiographies. And because of that, it is subjective in nature. That means if I write a book, it will be in my own style. If, for example, Harsh writes a book of his struggles, it will be in his own style. So there might be wide difference between my style and Harsh's style. So creative writing, there is no definite style, there is no definite brand voice or tone that you can implement. Every individual who pens down his or her write-up will bring a style to table. So that is why you have that freedom to imagine a lot of things, bring out creative ideas. For example, if you are writing a story, it need not be a real story, it can be an imaginary story as well. The best example is the Harry Potter series, which most of us are fan of. That's an imaginary story. You have that freedom in creative writing to think out of the box, come out with very innovative ideas. So these are the types of creative writing that we see in our day-to-day life, that is short stories, poems, speeches, essays, quotes, fiction novel, biographies. You can add more to this list. The next aspect of writing, or the next type of writing, is content writing. Content writing is something which we do in the business world. Okay, promote our brand, write for our brand, project our brand in front of our customers. And this approach is professional in nature. That means you need to have clear-cut voice, clear-cut tone, clear-cut use of vocabulary, and this is objective in nature. For example, Axelot Academy hires 5 content writers. All 5 of them should have the same style of writing. What do I mean by same style of writing? All should have the same brand voice, brand tone, and they must use the accepted vocabulary in the business world, the guidelines. They need to follow all the guidelines and come out with a similar style of writing. They don't have the freedom to get their own style of writing. Okay, so content writing or writing in business world is more professional and more objective in nature. You don't have too much room to add imaginary content, or imagination can be there, but it should not go overboard. I hope all of you have understood the difference between content writing and creative writing. Any queries so far? Anybody have any queries? I'm ready to take it up before I go forward. You can unmute yourself or you can drop the query in the chat window as well. Or you can raise your hands and then I'll take up the question. Anybody? I'm just scrolling through the window and just checking it. Any questions? No. No questions? Yeah. So, now the question arises, how can we form a middle path between this content writing and creative writing? How can we use some aspects of creative writing in the business world? You may not be able to come out with an out-of-box idea, an imaginary idea which is out of the blue, but still some aspects of creative writing like storytelling you can use in your content writing as well. The way you start a blog, there some innovation can be brought in. The way you end the blog, the way you transition between ideas, here a small spark of creativity can be put in so that your content writing doesn't sound monotonous, doesn't sound boring. Some aspects of creativity you can fill in, even in your content writing. So now what I would like to do is, let me first give you a brief on the content that we write from a business perspective. That is the blogs, website copies, landing pages, business reports, press releases, campaign emails, instruction manuals. So these are the content we see in the business world. Since we are here at the business platform and we need to stick on to the much demand content, that is the blogs, website copies, landing pages, and my discussion today will surround upon these aspects of writing, and we will see how we can add a spark of creativity to this business content. So what I will do now is, so first I'm going to tell you how you can choose your content writing niche. So some of you said that you want to be a writer. You want to start writing. First and foremost, you need to have that goal of writing. What exactly you are going to achieve through your writing. So what you can do is first think of what you are passionate about. Is it traveling that I am passionate about? Is it health and wellness I am passionate about? Or is it software, IT that I am passionate about? Or is it writing about real estate or tax am I passionate about? First, have a clear-cut idea on what you are passionate about. Then you need to have an idea on where my expertise lies in. Probably you want to write on tax and taxation matters interest you. But do you really have that expertise in this field? Or your expertise lies in IT field? Or it lies in the understanding of real estate products? Where exactly your expertise lies in? You need to understand that. Then you need to brainstorm as to what content am I comfortable with. Is it blogs? Can I sit for a long time and pen down 1,500 word blog? Or am I good at just writing small emails? Or am I more good at writing social media content or ad content? You need to first understand what you are comfortable with. Then you need to find the industry or domain where you want to go for writing. Is it the healthcare industry, education domain, or the software domain? What industry do you like to target? These are the basic steps involved in choosing your writing niche. So now I want you all to do an assignment, a small assignment. Okay, I hope all of you have that pen and paper with you. So I just want you to brainstorm 5 favorite niches of yours. It could be anything. If given a chance, what are the 5 niches you would write content on? It could be anything: traveling, it could be health and wellness, it could be taxation, anything. I want each one of you to take 2 minutes and brainstorm the 5 niches that you would like to, like to write content on. Take 2 minutes. Take 2 minutes and just write it in your pen and try to write it using your pen and paper, and then I will take from few of you. If possible, from all of you, I will take the inputs. Okay, start writing. Start writing. Apart from what I have mentioned, you can bring in any other niche as well. Any of your favorite niches. Any of you have finished writing? So you can unmute and share your niches. So feel free to type yes in the chat window if you have finished brainstorming your niche.
Guys, you can unmute and tell your answers to ma'am, or you can post in the chat box.
Yeah, you can post in the chat window as well, and whoever wishes to say can unmute and say. Okay.
Actually, ma'am, I have sorted down the 3 topics. Can I?
Yeah, sure, Ashwin.
Okay, so first one is crime, suspense, or a thriller, because there is n number of possibilities which you can do anything to the topic. Second one is the blog describing to different restaurants, because as I'm a foodie, it will be very nice to express my own thoughts to the people and recommendation about the restaurant and the specialities, etc. And third one is the blog related to the marketing topic, maybe related to the influencer marketing or anything. So my own thoughts about that particular topic.
These are very good topics, Ashwin. These are very good topics related to the food business, marketing, and also the crime thrillers. So even I am writing my own crime thriller, and yeah, I could relate with this topic. Very well done, Ashwin. Let's have a big round of applause for Ashwin. Very well done, Ashwin. Now let me take from Aishwarya first. Aishwarya, go ahead.
Yeah, hello ma'am. So I have jotted down 4 topics.
Yeah.
First is art and culture, since I am an art enthusiast. Second is Indian ancient history. I have a special interest in that topic, and so again the education system of different countries and specifically India, how it is changing and how it has adopted new things, and then in Indian political history.
Wow, very, very nice topics, very diverse topics. Very well done, Aishwarya. Let's give her a big round of applause. Well done, well done. Now let me take from Harsh. Harsh, go ahead. You can tell the topic.
Yes, ma'am, I basically got few, like, first one is sports specific about cricket. Second is current political scenario in India. Third one is talking about the new fashion trends in market. Fourth is specifically about the music industry. And fifth is how the beer market is going right now in this talk.
Very good, Harsh. Again, diverse topics, cricket, beer market, and very, very well done, Harsh. Let's give Harsh a big round of applause. Very well done. I will take from Rishita next. Rishita, go ahead, Rishita.
So, ma'am, I wrote about the first one was food and heritage of India. Second one was travel. Third was of Indian mythology, and fourth one was horror, and the fifth was marketing.
Very good. Horror, yeah, horror is a very important genre. Very well done, Rishita. Let's give her a big round of applause. And let me take from Yash now, Yash.
Yes, since I noted down 5 topics. First one is politics. Second is sports, like Formula 1 in particular. And third one is technology. Fourth is travel. And fifth is about Indian history and religion.
Very, very well done, Yash. Again, a diverse set of topics. Let's give a big round of applause for Yash. Now let me take from Antari.
Yeah, hello ma'am. So I have written down 5 topics. So coming from an engineering background, my topics are automobiles, anything related to that.
Yeah.
Second would be aviation. Then it is supply chain. Then I am also interested in global geopolitics. And finally it would be traveling.
Very good. This is also a wide set of topics and technology domain. Even I can correlate, me coming from an engineering background, and very well done, Nantari. Let's give him a big round of applause. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me take from Sarthak, the input from Sarthak.
So my topics are, first one is the health and fitness. Second one will be the lifestyle one. Third one will be technology and gaming. Fourth one will be traveling, and the last one will be for me lifestyle.
It is lifestyle, right?
Yeah, lifestyle.
Very fair enough. And I can see that traveling is common for most of us, and even I can correlate to traveling content. Thanks for the input, Sarthak, and let's give him a big round of applause. Very well done. Thanks to everyone who have shared their inputs. And now that you know, okay, this is the content I'm going to write on. So what are the skills needed for being a content writer, especially in a business setup? What are the top 6 skills of a content writer? One is good research skills. So you need to be able to go through so many blogs and do the research. You need to go through the search results of Google. In addition, you need to be able to go through a lot of YouTube videos. You should also read papers, a lot of research papers. Your research skills should be sharp and dot on. If I can tell from my personal experience, see, I have written content for the domain of taxation, the domain of startups, and few places I've seen that the content that we get on Google is not sufficient enough. We have to do additional research by going through so many YouTube videos which are not popular. You have to dig through that and you have to do the research. Only then you get the genuine and the correct content. So as a writer, you need to have a good research skill. That's the number 1 skill that you need to possess. Number 2 skill is, especially in business domain, use short and crisp sentences. We may feel that we'll have to put long, wieldy sentences, flowery sentences, only then our business content will stand out. I had this misconception when I started writing. I used to use all complicated vocabulary, big sentences, but then I realized the shorter it is, the more effective your content. The crisp the sentences are, the easier your viewers or the readers can understand. So ensure that you use short and crisp sentences. The third and common aspect or the most crucial aspect is incorporate active voice while writing. For example, let me give an example. That is, the dog ate the biscuit, or the biscuit was eaten by dog. So can you identify which is in active voice and which is in passive voice? Any of you from the audience? You can raise your hands and you can just identify which is active voice and which is passive voice. Let me tell you. The biscuit was eaten by the dog. Okay, here the sentence is long and wieldy and the emphasis is on the action rather than the subject, that is dog. So if I say the dog ate the biscuit, so the emphasis is on the subject and the number of words that you use also reduces. So when you use active voice, your sentence becomes short and crisp. So this is very much needed in a business setup. When you are writing blogs, when you are writing landing pages, when you are writing website copies, this is very much needed. Using of active voice. The next aspect is avoid jargons and you need to use simple language. Don't use complicated acronyms, complicated jargons. If you can replace the complex vocabulary with simple vocabulary, that will take you a long way. That is more important. You need to have good editing and proofreading skills. As a writer, you cannot publish your first draft. You need to edit it at least 3, 4, 5 times, proofread it, and then only you can publish. Because in the first instance, you may not find the mistakes, the small mistakes with respect to word choice, with respect to grammar, punctuation. With 2-3 editing, you can fine-tune your write-up. And lastly, you need to have in-depth knowledge of the search engine optimization. So what do I understand by search engine optimization? That means you need to know the techniques to rank higher on Google. You need to know how to use the right keywords, how to use the right titles. Titles are very important in any form of content. Here is where you need to apply your creativity. In business settings, your creativity will be tested the way you write the title, the way you write the paragraphs, the way you use the transition. Here your creativity will be tested. You can't go on and on writing a common title, a generalistic title. You need to come out with something innovative. We will cover this aspect when we take up blogs in a business setup. So these are the top 6 skills of a content writer. If you are a content writer or you are an aspiring writer, you need to have these skills. So any doubt before we move further? Anybody have any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask. You can unmute and ask me. Or even you can drop the query in the chat window. Yes, Aishwarya, you have any query?
No, ma'am. I was saying that if someone is having any doubt, they can ask it in the last.
Yes. So let me start with blog writing. So blog writing important in a business world. We all live in a digital world. Everything is going online. Blogs are very important for businesses to project their products, to educate their customers. And here let me make a distinction. There could be company blogs and there could be your own blogs. Probably you have a blog. You are writing your stories and posting. So when you write your own stories and post on your blog, You can be as creative as possible. You don't have a definite audience targeting. Probably you're just writing to express your feelings. You can use the sentences however you want. The word choice is all up to you. You can write imaginary stories. You can be as creative as possible. But in business domain, when you write blog, you can definitely be creative. But there is a limit for that creativity. So let me explain in detail. So the main aim of blog writing is in business domain is informing or educating your audience. Okay, you have released a product or you are into education domain, you will probably write on trending topics in the education domain, healthcare domain. Mostly you may not try to directly sell through the blog. The first thing is you are going to educate your audience, inform them and get them closer to your brand. So that is the main aim of blog writing. For example, so if you write a blog on how to start your online business, 10 best ways to start your online business, or what can you learn about blogging from famous brands. All these are educative content or educative blog content that you have. So now how to get started with blog writing? If you're someone who's just beginning to get started with writing or you want to attempt blog writing, so what you can do is, first thing that you need to do when you are writing blogs in a business, blogs from a business perspective is you need to research your audience. Who is my audience? Is it B2B audience or is it B2C audience? Is it the business to business audience or business to customer audience? Based on your type of audience, your messaging changes. Have clear idea about your audience. If it is an educational institute, the audience will be students, parents. Okay, this is the audience that they have. Be clear about your audience and then start brainstorming your points. You have got a blog topic and then you can start brainstorming all the points that you need to write. Then you can start writing the blog. Start with a catchy blog title. This is where your creativity will be tested. Let me go back to my previous slide for this. Yeah. For example, you are a business which helps startups, set up their business and small businesses. So you have to write certain content. So how will you make catchy titles? So the title that I've given here is 10 best ways to start your online business. So this is a catchy title. Why? Because you have a number associated with it. And you are using certain power words like 10 best ways, 10 top ways to start your online business. You are directly coming to the point. And you can apply your innovation here and you can fine tune it further. So let me try to fine tune this further. Want to start a online business, then you should not miss out on this 10 ways. So I am using the word miss out. So this is a catchy word that gets the attention of your audience. So one aspect where you need to apply your creativity when it comes to business content is the title. Right from the title of your blog, you can apply your imagination and creativity and frame it. Then let me come to how to open a blog. Opening of a blog gives you a lot of scope for innovation and applying your creative skills. So let me share some techniques that I apply for my stories. So I've written a lot of stories, I've published one story as well. So let me give some ideas on how you can apply creativity while opening your blog. One is, you can start your blog. Normally we have a tendency to start our blog by just in a generalistic way we write. Social media means okay, social media has become so common in the day-to-day world and social media is this, that. We write from a generalistic perspective. But how can we actually hook our audience and make them interested from the very beginning of your blog. One is take a storytelling approach. Okay, start talking about a story of social media. It could be your personal story or it could be a story that you have heard. Start with a story. That is one approach. The number 2 approach that I've tried and tested in my write-ups is start with dialogues. Okay, start with dialogues. It could be conversation between 2 friends, X and Y, talking about social media and its benefits. Then you can transition to the body part and say, do you want to see that benefit? Do you want to explore more? That is so dialogue. Starting with a dialogue is another innovative way to start up. So the third way that I generally use and that I have really explored is quote a newspaper article. Okay, quote a newspaper article or some recent event that happened. So that's another way to start your blog writing. Then the fourth and the final way that you can go about with starting your blog writing is, this is a very interesting way of starting. It's like going to past or going to the future. You are imagining something that you want to see in future and putting it in the opening. For example, we have the issue of women's education in India. Take, for example, in the blog, you can go 100 years later, show how the women are empowered and then start your blog by saying, do you want to see that empowerment? How can we achieve it? It is definitely possible. With certain fine-tunement in our policies, we can definitely achieve it. So this is another innovative way of starting your blog opening. I hope all of you are clear with how to go about with the opening. Any queries, any doubts?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have heard sometimes that we can give a title to a blog after completing the blog. Like what all things are covered and based on that we can give a title. So what do you suggest? Should we give a title in the beginning itself and then build around it or at the last?
I would suggest give a blog title initially because you know how to structure your body part. You will have a clear cut. If I say 10 ways to start my online business, I know I have to only write on 10 ways. I need not brainstorm too many other points. I can just stick to those 10 points.
Got it.
Okay? I hope it's clarified. Yeah. After starting with a proper hook and a creative hook, start out with giving clear paragraphs and points. Blog, I would suggest don't simply go with 4-5 lines of paragraph. You need to have breakages in between in the form of points. Your readers, when they are reading the blog, it's not possible for them humanly to keep reading only the paragraphs continuously. They need a break in that flow. So that break can be given in the form of quick points, 4-5 points. Lastly, you can end the blog with a clear call to action. What do you want your audience to do after they have read your blog? Is it that you want them to buy your product? Take them to that landing page or that product page. But if you are writing on your own personal blog, you have written a story, what do you want them to do? What could be the call to action? Either you want to read your other stories, you can take them to your YouTube channel, or you can ask them to sign to your newsletter, where you can send them more stories. So based on where you are writing this blog, is it a business content or in your own blog on a creative content, the call to action also changes. Now there is an assignment for all of you. Be ready with a pen and paper. I want you to brainstorm 5 blog topics. Any 5 blog topics, or we can shorten it to just 3 blog topics. Let's make it 3 blog topics and just have a rough outline on how will you write the opening, what technique do you want to use, like how I've suggested few techniques. You can use the same technique. You can come out with other techniques as well. What will be your point in the body part, and what call to action will you put in this in the end? It could be any 3 block topics. Okay, you can take 3 minutes for this. You can take 3 minutes. And if you have finished, put yes in the chat window so that I get to know that all of you have finished. You can start writing.
So guys, you can raise your hand and let ma'am know about the topics you're written.
Yeah, please feel free to share the topics. Harsh has already dropped in the chat window that how the bear conquered the Bombay Stock Exchange. Very good topic. Topic related to stock exchange. Any of you want to share your topic? You can raise your hand or you can even drop it in the chat window.
Come on, guys, go ahead.
It could be anything. Yeah, Aishwarya, go ahead.
Ma'am, as I said, I would like to write on the education system of India. So I created an outline. So I'll start with a conversation between a grandfather and grandson. That these are the cutoffs and what career opportunities I can pursue and all. So a grandfather starts explaining how it used to be during their times, and then in midway, when the information about whole education system is completed, midway somewhere, the grandson can take up the conversation and the further explanation.
Oh, this is a very innovative idea. Very, very innovative. It's a very innovative idea. Start with a conversation, and well done, Aishwarya. Well done. And how do you plan to end it?
I have not thought about it.
Okay, no problem. The idea is very good. Let's give a big round of applause to Aishwarya and Harsh. Very well done. I can see Joy has said the choice of academics and vocational training. Would you like to elaborate on this aspect, Joy? How do you plan to start? What would be the structure and how do you plan to end?
The start would be a very well maintained car workshop where a person walks in where his car is broken down and a just passed out BTech guy looks at the car and is scratching his head, whereas the mechanic comes in and says, okay, the spark plugs are dirty, you need to clean it. So now the classic conflict, which is more important, is the education BTech more important, or the guy who's repairing the car and knows that the spark plug is the problem more important? This is scenario 1. Scenario 2 is that a car manufacturer repeatedly faces heating as a problem in the engine. And the same mechanic keeps on saying, just coolant badalte raho. Whereas the BTech guy goes and researches and finds out the structural defect. So the classic conflict of the balance between what is important, is this academic knowledge or vocational training. Now from an employment perspective in India, both have their niches. From an education perspective, we are more focused on academics, thinking that only we need structural designing. However, the need of the hour is a balance between both, and I think vocation is more important.
Yeah. Very, very well put, Joy. Very well put. I like the way you started, and this is a very innovative way, starting off with that. I can picturize that theme. It's a very effective way of starting this. I'll take a leaf out of what Joy said. The same thing you can apply to all your blogs. Even it could be technical blogs. For a company or writing a blog, technical topic also you can apply, picturize something and show people before actually deep diving into the concept. Okay, do try to apply these techniques. Very well done. Let's give a big round of applause to Joy. Very well done. Harsh, do you want to elaborate on the topic that you just mentioned?
Ma'am, yes, like I regularly follow the stock market and seeing the current trends, it's the bearish market. The market is like constantly going down. So the topic that came to my mind is like how the bear is conquering this Bombay Stock Exchange right now. So yeah, I can elaborate what are the reasons for the downfall of the market and how we can predict what we can predict stuff like that.
Very, very well put, Harsh. I can see Kumar was raising his hand. Yes, Kumar, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my blog topic would be Happily Ever After is a fairy tale. So, it would be a personal blog about relationships. So, I'll start my blog with a quote that relationships are about giving and give and take. It's a choice. Then I'll be moving ahead telling about the phases of a relationship. What the different phases from the not just about the love matter, but also about the colleagues and friends, your workplace relationship, everything. And then I'll move on to give the tips on how to keep a check on your relationships. That we tend to lose the check, like how are we communicating with the same person again and again. Then I'll make a strong ending telling about the expectations and how to enjoy your relationship.
Yep. Very good, Kumar. Starting with a quote is another effective way of starting your blog. Very well done. And let's give a big round of applause to Kumar. Very well done. Anybody else want to share? Then if not, I will proceed. Anybody else? Okay, let me continue the discussion and let me share my screen. So the next type of writing that we see in the business world is copywriting. So what exactly is copywriting and what is the aim of copywriting? Here, copywriting is another instance where you can be as creative as possible. Yeah, the main aim of copywriting is to sell a product or service. You are a brand, you want to sell your product or service, go out there and write copies. What are the types of copies that you can write? Web content. And this is crucial for all the brands. All the brands that are coming up, 95% of them have a website and everyone needs web content to drive traffic. Then comes the landing pages, the product description, the posters that you sent out on social media. These are some of the examples and you can add on more to it. So why I say that copywriting is a good platform to try out your creative writing skills, because when you are trying to sell your product or pitch your product, you don't have too much time or too much content to put forth in front of the audience. Blog people can take time, read, get the education, but when you are putting out an ad, when people land on your website, you don't want them to read long, wieldy sentences. As soon as they read one or two lines, you want them to click on that sign up button, subscribe button, and to buy your product or service. So there comes your creative writing skill. How well you use power words, emotional words, how well you can relate with the customer and you frame the sentences. So let me give you a gist or a brief on how to get started with copywriting. Again, the basics: research your audience, B2B audience or B2C audience. The next aspect is know the features and benefits of your product or services. You need to know in and out of your product to even write it in a creative manner. The third aspect is understand the emotions of your audience. How will your customer feel when they use your product? What are the emotions they feel when they see your product, touch your product? What are the emotions that evoke in them? You need to know that, and you need to be able to use a visual language when you are writing a copy, or a literary or figurative language. What do I mean by literal language or figurative language? You should be able to make use of the concepts like similes, metaphors, personification. Let me explain these aspects in brief. When you talk about similes, you are doing a direct comparison between two objects. When you are talking about metaphor, it's an indirect comparison. And personification, you are giving the qualities of a human to a product or some object. For example, if I say about the table fan, I don't want to just say that the table fan is moving from left to right. It becomes a plain language. How can I add a dose of creativity into it? The table fan is waving at me. So I say the table fan is waving at me. I have added an element of personification in it. And if I have to say, I walked past the house and I want to give a personification element to a house. So if I can say the house sneezed at me, or The house is staring at me. I'm giving a human element to a object. That's the same you can do when you describe your products or your services on your website. And here again you can use the storytelling concept. Explain your product features or benefits in the form of story. How exactly it will benefit your customer when they use it. How will it affect their personal life, their personal relationships? That's more important. And here is where you need to use a lot of power words in your writing. What do I mean by power words? In my blog title, I used best ways, top ways. These are some of the power words that you can use. Even there are negative power words. You don't want to miss out on this. So these are some of the words that you can use in your copy, specifically in your copies, because you need to get the audience attention within a short span of time. And finally, make sure that you use the SEO keywords properly. There are certain target keywords that your audience is searching on a daily basis, and make sure that you use them in your copy. So for any doubt with respect to blogs or copywriting, anybody have any doubts or any queries? Or any aspect of creative writing that I mentioned, using stories, using the innovative blog opening, blog ending, anything for that matter, any doubt or any queries? Okay, let me share my screen again. Now let's understand how can you actually get started with your creative writing journey. How can you get started with your creative writing journey is first we all have analyzed what's our passion, what's our hobby, what's our niche, what we can more relate to. So this is the first step to get started with your creative writing journey. If you are someone who has never picked up a pen to write, start writing about your hobbies. If it is cycling, start writing about it. If it is traveling, start writing about it. That's the first step. Second, I would suggest start small. If you have never written before, start small. Start with a quote, just one line. Then go on to poems or go on to copies, website copies. Because those are short content. Then go on to bigger content like blogs or short stories. So because that will give you an idea of how to form words, how to form sentences. The next aspect is you need to be a very good observant. If you have to be a very good creative writer or a very good content writer, you need to be able to observe your surroundings and come out with topics for writing. So if it is on a business setup and you are seeing small businesses, startups, if you are seeing their problems of funding, financing, you are observing the stock market and seeing when it is going up or down, you can come out brainstorm some topics. Or if you want to write your own short story, there are any number of topics that you can brainstorm. For example, I will give from my own personal perspective. 2 to 3 years back, I had visited Meenakshi temple in Madurai. So I wrote a small poem, 3 to 4 line poem on its Gopuram, its unique Gopuram. And I had also penned down a poem on the marriages in India, the irony of the arranged marriages in India. So a lot of issues you can observe around you and you can start writing, penning down your thoughts on that. Then the other aspect of getting started with your writing is journal your thoughts. I have a habit at night to write down what happened during that day. So if you can pen down your thoughts, what you learned during the day, what are your thoughts, what are your feelings, that's another way to get started with your creative writing. Then writing prompts are another important way to get started with your writing. You have lot of prompts when you check online on different topics. You will find on business content as well, you will find on story content, imaginary idea content. You can start writing the writing prompts. If I have to share my personal experience, when I started with writing, I didn't have much content. So what I did was I took out random writing prompts, and every day I used to write at least 4-5 lines. I used to write and I used to publish it on social media. In that way, you get an idea that okay, I need to write every day, and you will build up a schedule and you will keep writing every day, and naturally that techniques will imbibe in your subconscious mind, be it similes, be it metaphor, be it a way to open your writing, be it a way to tell stories, and so on. So let me stop the share right now. So I'll take some questions before going forward. Any queries, anything you want me to tell.
Guys, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and go ahead.
Anything, any doubts, any queries. You are confused where to get started, and you are confused whether you want to take up content writing or short story writing, anything, feel free to ask.
I think I will have a question, I think, which is a very, very common dilemma with many seasoned writers also.
Yep.
In terms of content writing, from the blog perspective.
Yep. Go ahead.
What is the length of a blog that we should write?
Length of a blog,
And an extension to the same question.
Yeah.
What should be the structuring between the start, the ratio, the start, the body and the conclusion, in terms of, if I say a percentage of words which I would like to allocate. So how would that make a sense and a science?
Yep. Very, very valid question. So from the Google's or SEO's perspective, what I have observed is blogs which are long in nature, which are at least 1,500 words, those perform well as compared to blogs which are less than 800 words. So I would suggest, if you are writing a blog with respect to business perspective for a company, go for long form content. That will add more value to the audience. Readers will be interested to understand a concept in depth, rather than giving generalistic information in a short blog of say 500, 800 words. They would love to read 1,500 words and above. And these are the best performing blogs. If you have seen some blogs online, these are the best performing blogs, long form blogs. And coming to the next question, what should be the ratio? Ideally, intro should be catchy, short and to the point, not more than 150 to 200 words. Not more than that. And neither should it be very short, like less than 50 words or less in 20-30 words. I have seen certain blogs where they write, okay, social media is very important and let us understand the benefit. This will be the intro and they are quickly going into the body. That's a very vague starting. Keep it catchy. The techniques that I suggested, you can use it. Keep it less than 150 to 200 words. That's it. And the body part can take over, and conclusion should also be within 150 words, 150, 200 words. And the rest you can allocate, dedicate it for your body part. I hope, Joy, your query is addressed.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. I can see Rishika raising her hand. Yes, Rishika, go ahead. Rishika, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So ma'am, my question is not restricted to like content writing or creative writing. This is a general question that how can we unlock our imagination? Like when it comes to writing, imagination is the most necessary thing. So how can we unlock? Any tips?
Yeah, this is a very important point. How can you bring that innovation to the table and creativity to the table? So I would suggest, I will go back to that point on being a keen observer. A good writer is a good observer. No matter what situation he or she comes across, a conversation, they will pick up a writing topic. So for Rishika, I would suggest next time you are going out, traveling, or just going out or having a conversation, see how you can build topics out of it. You are having a conversation with your friends on marriage, okay, Indian marriages, imagine the irony of Indian marriages. So you can actually write a sarcastic poem out of it. Make a sarcastic poem, the big fat Indian wedding. That can be a topic for a poem. See, just by a daily conversation, you have got a topic for your writer. Or you are going out and you are seeing the farmers struggle. Then you can write a short story, an imaginary story on the struggles of farmers. Okay, so it need not be the same manner that you observe. You can write it from a futuristic perspective. If things were good with the farmers and if their condition was good, what can our nation achieve? Okay, if the farmer's condition is good, think from a futuristic perspective, bring your imagination and write a story or write a poem. We can even use sarcastic tone in it. So in a nutshell, if I have to give you the advice, I would suggest be a good observant and try to pick up story ideas from whatever you see, whomever you meet. Try to grab some story ideas. I hope this is clear, Rishita.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarthak has a question. Yes, Sarthak.
Yes, ma'am. So when you are writing a content, let's say a blog or something, any particular content, the main question which I usually get is the tone of that. Like, in which tone should I write the content? So can you give a brief on that?
Correct. Yes. Sarthak, if there are two ways to approach it. If you are writing your own personal blog, your own story or write-up, there you don't have to worry much on what tone to take. It's up to you. You use a humorous tone, you are more conversational in nature, it doesn't matter. But if you are writing for a company, a brand, they have their own guidelines of using the tone. Probably they want more professional tone. They don't want to have too much of a humor included, want to keep it professional. So if you are writing for a brand, understand their guidelines, writing guidelines. Is it professional or is it informal? Formal or informal? If it is informal, probably you can add a bit of humor, more conversation. But if it is totally professional, keep it professional. Don't, use the tone which brings out that you are casual or you are going overboard. So understand the perspective, whom you are writing the content. Okay? I hope this answers your query, Sartha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. There is one question from Monica. Let me take it. What are the online platforms should we read and write to improve our writing skills? Okay, so the platforms, online platforms, yes. I was coming to that, Monica, in my next few slides, just 3-4 more slides I have, I'll address this query. So let me start sharing the slides again. So to answer Monica's question, how you can fine-tune your writing skills, it requires a lot of practice, lot of persistence. You will not be a good writer in just 1 or 2 days. It requires constant effort. So one way you can fine-tune your skill is join a writing community online. You will have a lot of Facebook groups, lot of WhatsApp groups are there, lot of groups on LinkedIn as well. I have seen groups on creative writing, I have seen content writing groups on LinkedIn. There are many out there. I won't recommend one, but I would suggest, Monica, you explore and which works best for you, take up that. Okay, but do join a writing community. I am actually part of some writing groups on WhatsApp. What benefit I have found out of this writing community is whenever you write something and post on the group, there are like 5, 10, 20 people reviewing your draft and giving you the feedback and giving you more constructive ideas. One person will have a story opening idea, another person's idea which is way apart, he will put in his idea, and you will get any number of ideas by being part of a writing community. You can even put a question in the group. I need some writing ideas, I need some blog topics. So you have a ready group available with your community with you to help you out. So this is one way you can go ahead. Next aspect is, the next way to fine tune your writing skills is read more. Every writer should be a good reader at times. Be it professional content or be it stories or novels, you first need to be a good writer and you need to study other writers. See, I have read books of like Sudhamurthy, I've read books of Stephen King, and what I do is when I read their books, I understand, okay, this is their writing style, okay, this is the word choices that they have, this is the way they narrate the story, this is the way they describe the story. So when you make the study, you will get an idea of how to begin writing, how to start out. But I would suggest, don't copy them blindly, okay, don't copy them, you can take some inspiration from them, maybe story inspiration, like Sudhamurthy has written a story about her grandmother. So you can similarly take that inspiration and you can write about your own grandmother. That's fine, but don't blindly copy Sudhamurthy's style, build your own style. Keep reading a variety of books, fiction, non-fiction, biographies. Everything will add on to your subconscious mind. It's all material that you are adding on to yourself and you can use this to come out with nice write-ups. This is a crucial aspect we all writers should follow. Have a dedicated writing time and schedule. Select the writing time and schedule that works for you best. I am a morning person and I can write at a stretch in the morning. Somebody else, maybe Aishwarya or Harsh, may be comfortable writing at night. So decide what works for you and stick to that time. Stick to it full on. Okay? And follow a schedule. Create a timetable. Okay, Monday to Wednesday I have to complete this block. Today I'm going to work on the opening. Tomorrow I'm going to add more ideas in my body. And finally I'm going to conclude. Then give one day for proofreading and editing. If you don't have a dedicated writing time and schedule, probably you will write today and tomorrow you may forget writing. Tomorrow you may not have that motivation to write. So have a dedicated writing time and schedule. This aspect is you have to take more and more writing courses and workshops if you are a beginner. If you are completely new to writing, start taking courses and workshops. I happen to take some courses and workshops from British Council and that really helped me to get started with my writing. Similarly, you can take good courses on LinkedIn as well. You have a lot of content writing courses and workshops. This will give you the basic aspects of writing and handhold you to take that next step. They'll give you a lot of assignments, just like how I give you some assignments. Similarly, these courses and workshops will also have some assignments, and that's one best way to, accelerate your writing journey. And this point is with respect to ideas for writing. You can always repurpose or recycle your content. If you have written a poem on your grandmother, why not you take the same idea and write a story, make a story out of it. You have written a quote on leadership. Why not take the same idea on leadership and write a blog, a full-fledged blog on leadership, 10 ways to be a good leader. This is how you repurpose or recycle your old content and never run out of writing ideas. The next important aspect is take part in writing contest. In this way, you get that competitive spirit and you will be motivated throughout your writing journey. You have a lot of contests on social media. To take part in them. I have taken part in a lot of poem contests, story contests. They in fact kept me charged up and boosted my spirit. Do try this technique. Another crucial aspect. This good writing is all about rewriting. See, all the best writers out there, they didn't publish their work or they didn't publish their first draft. It could be their 50th draft. It could be their 100th draft. Make sure that you use tools, the right tools to edit your writing, proofread your writing, and only when you are confident, publish it. Okay, don't publish your writing in the first day. Take some time to read through it. When you read the second time, you will get a lot of ideas, lot of inputs you will get, probably more points to add in your body part. You will find some grammatical punctuation errors. So rewriting is very important. And lastly, get an accountability partner if you are starting the writing. It could be your friend, could be your family member. Both of you can write your content, share it with each other, and then give the feedback and give the suggestions. So this is my last tip. Have an accountability partner. So come to the end of the session. So before I share that secret or that offering that I promised, I would like to take some questions, some more questions from the audience. Then I just have one small offering for all of you. Any other doubts, any other queries? Anything you want to know about writing, content writing, the creative writing? Yes, Rishita.
Ma'am, so in some previous slides you mentioned about reading. So what is your goal for reading any material?
Rishita, your voice was breaking, but what I could make out is you're looking for some tools for proofreading, right? Proofreading and editing. Yeah. So I would suggest the tools that I myself have used and have experienced. Grammarly is very good tool. It's a very good tool. Pro Writing Aid is another tool, and you can also use Hemingway app. These three tools are the top tools in the market and offer really good suggestions. You can try these three out. Let me write it down in the chat window for everyone's benefit. Grammarly, then Hemingway app, and Pro Writing Aid. Yeah, these are the three tools that all of you can use for your writing. It's not just for professional writing, even for your stories, novels, you can use them. Just that you need to change the setting in the tool, that what content are you checking? Are you checking business content, or are you checking creative story content or book content? I hope this answers your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any queries, any doubt? Okay. If there are no more queries, I just want to share my screen and just talk about one aspect. So let me share my screen now. Just share my screen. Yeah. So I'm conducting a story writing workshop on coming Sunday, that is 26th June. For 3 hours. It will be a 3-hour intense workshop that I'll be conducting. So at the end of this workshop, we will be writing a story. So you all will come out with your own story. So I'll give you a lot of inputs on how to brainstorm ideas for story, how to come out with that characters in your story, how to write proper dialogue for the character, how should you narrate, describe the story, and how can you introduce conflict in the story. And we will be live working on your stories, and it will be a full hands-on 3-hour workshop. Okay, and if any of you are interested to register for the workshop, I'm dropping the registration link on the chat window. Feel free to register, and it's going to be a 3-hour long workshop. And if you have not written a story, you will get all the basic crafts of writing the story in this workshop, and you get handouts as well. So you can consider exploring this workshop. This coming on 26th. Yeah. So that's it from my end. So I hope all of you have got some idea on how to go about with creative writing, how to introduce aspects of creative writing in your business content, and always feel free to get in touch with me. So I can drop in my number, or I can drop in my LinkedIn profile. You can get in touch with me directly on LinkedIn. So that would be better. I will just drop in my LinkedIn profile for the benefit of all of you. do connect to me on LinkedIn, and any doubts, any queries, any one-to-one help you need with respect to writing, I'll be there to help you out. So I will drop in my profile link. So until then, I'll hand over the stage back to Harsh.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That was a very insightful session. It's a valuable aspect on the creative writing and how can we pen down our thoughts. If I remember the few points about writing your goals and expressing the thoughts and inspiring people, the different aspects of content and creative writing. And the one very important point I remember is how to add the spark of creativity by choosing the niche sector of the content writing, the way we did that activity and joining the writing community online. These things will really help us in moving forward with the content writing part. Ma'am, we have our director founder, Mr. Jargons with us in the meeting. Sir, I request you to please share your thoughts. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Devi. I think I was more than anything but an active listener and learner from whatever you were telling. I think the most important thing which for me is a personal takeaway, about 5 years back, I picked up a new hobby and that was running, So I had to build a habit to get into running. So now I was thinking of picking up writing as a hobby, as my second hobby, as the next new thing, but I was not sure about the habits to pick up. But I think the concluding slide of yours about rewriting, getting a calendar set, getting into competitive writing, being a part of the groups or the communities, I think those are wonderful tips. Anyone who's seriously wondering or wanting to build a habit or build a new skill or build a new hobby, habits are the most important thing, and I think that's a wonderful way of making it simple for me at least. I'm sure it would have helped many of the aspiring writers out here. It was a wonderful session. Thank you. Very simple, very nice. And as you said, it was very creative. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those warm words, sir. I'm really humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So on behalf of the entire Axelot family, I would like to extend my most sincere thanks to Devi ma'am, who spared time from her busy schedule to grace the webinar. And today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely help us to improve our writing skills, basically the creative writing part. I would like to extend my gratitude to all the attendees who trusted us and attended this session. We are happily ready to organize more such events for all of you to help you all. And well, this is a little long. So finally, a big thanks to those who guided us throughout the process. Our CEO, Mr. Devashish Sen, our director founder, Jargons sir, our marketing manager, Soumya ma'am, and also for the prompt support from the IT team. Before we sign off, I'd love to tell you all that Axelot Academy is grateful to have you all here. Thank you all. I hope you had an insightful session over discovering the secret writer in you. And as I always say, this is your host, Harsh signing off. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Have a nice time, ma'am.
Have a nice day, everyone.